Narrated Abu Bakrah, may Allah be pleased with him. I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, saying, when two Muslims meet each other with their swords, both the murderer as well as the murdered will go to the hellfire. I said, O Allah's Messenger, is it all right for the murderer? But what about the murdered one? Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, replied, he surely had the intention to kill his companion. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, this hadith is really important because it just highlights how we're supposed to look at each other and how tragic it is when Muslims fight each other, especially for nationalistic wars. And it really does highlight that we're supposed to be putting our religion first. If you look at how the Christians treat each other, like for example, you have them saying, oh, let's go help the Christians in Nigeria, and Trump is threatening to send troops. So he has money to send troops to Nigeria, but he's cutting SNAP food benefits through his big beautiful bill that he calls it. And also, due to the government shutdown, people haven't gotten their SNAP and EBT benefits, which is their food aid. So, we have money for war, but not the poor. And I always found this weird, that Nigeria is not an American problem, but feeding Americans is an American problem. Okay? And before someone says, they should get a job. Well, if you look at the data, over 9 million people work full-time, but they have low-wage jobs, so they need some food aid. And there's about 20,000, 22,000 active service duty, military people who, because of their low ranking, they also qualify for it as well. Not to mention disabled children. And it's funny that the people who claim they want to bring traditionalism back and gender roles and women to stay at home and raise their kids, well, if she doesn't go to college and she doesn't have a job and she stays home in this economy, the budget for food is going to be quite tight, isn't it? So, if you look at the red states, there's lots of Christians in these red states who need their food aid, while there's online Christian influencers who are advocating for the food deprivation of their fellow Christians, while also those Christians, especially of the MAGA cult, are cheering the deportations of illegal workers. Now, the only crime these people committed was coming in illegally. Okay, they're picking lemons, avocados, strawberries, you name it, working in meatpacking factories. Just give them their work permits, let them stay, and let's move about our business. And that's an easy fix. But the Christians in the MAGA cult, their hearts are so hard that they don't even want to forgive these people for coming in illegally. Majority of Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, Salvadorians who come in are Christians, specifically Catholics. But the MAGA cult, evangelicals and others, Protestants, Lutherans, they are demonizing these people. But then they turn around and say, well, we care about the Nigerian Christians and we care about the Syrians and the Syrian Christians. No. It's just they want to use those deaths in order to attack Muslims because they want to go to war with Iran. So they're not able to use the Latino Christians for political purposes, so they don't really care. And there's videos surfacing everywhere where children are crying as ICE grabs their parents, and the MAGA cult Christians who say Christ is King are cheering, saying shouldn't have come illegally. So MAGA engages in cruelty all the time towards Christians who haven't even done anything, but they somehow think that they're the good guys in the situation. So when we look at this hadith that is narrated by Abu Bakrah, it reminds us that the person should really be cautious when they try to attack a fellow believer, and that we have rights towards each other. And both of them had the intention to delete the other. And that this is something that can land you in hell. So look how we're supposed to have this love for each other. How we have to work through our differences and be able to say, hey, you know what? I don't agree with this, but I'm going to go ahead and forgive you, or just don't talk to that person, or make your refutations, or avoid them if you have to because you're so angry. But when you look at Muslim countries, we have to be able to say, hey, watch out for these sort of coups. Because if we followed this hadith, it would make it much harder for other nations to cause civil war. You know, Americans don't have that type of brotherhood anymore. It was called the United States. One nation under God, indivisible, right? That's in the Pledge of Allegiance. The Federal Union, the State of the Union. So you have a lot of, almost, you could call it monotheistic terminology, right? It's a unification rhetoric that stems all over America and in America. And yet, you have the white supremacists wanting to cut off the food programs to black Christians because some blacks are happy that they got some soda and some chips in their shopping cart. And this pisses people off who, I don't know, they just don't want these people to have any snacks. And they say, where's my money? Okay, where's your outrage when your money is going towards bombing little kids who didn't do anything to you? Oh, it's not real, has a right to defend itself. Shouldn't start a war you couldn't finish. So they're more outraged at a poor black Christian kid having some Takis chips than they are of a bomb decimating little innocent brown children. So the white supremacy is really hard in a lot of people's hearts, and the weirdest thing is that the white supremacist Christian nationalists of the MAGA cult, end of the right-wing spectrum, they literally think that their race is special to God. I'm not for racial identity politics in any sense of the word. Whether it's Chinese, Arab, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You do not have anything special about you because of your ethnicity. I just don't think that. That's ridiculous. Because if the Creator wanted us all to be the same, He wouldn't have put us in different lands and allowed us to change and have different faces. You know? I mean, come on. It's like chickens going to war with each other because one is one breed and one is the other breed. It just doesn't make any sense at all, even though we're the same species. It's like ridiculous. So this hadith also makes us realize how we have to be patient, watch our tempers. How quick are we to get violent with each other? So we have to watch out for that. And if someone's trying to make two believers get crazy with each other, we should avoid them. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and join the blog.